If you struggle keeping the beat when you play, and you have a hard time locking into a foot tapping groove, well, today I've got a perfect solution for you to practice that's going to help you with your rhythm, and it's also going to help you with your chord transitions. Now, this song takes us all the way back to 1958. It was written by the great Eddie Cochran along with his manager at the time. The song's called Summertime Blues. Here's what the first part sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is the 3 chords you need to know. This is the first chord you want to play, and that's an E chord. We're going to play all 6 strings, open, 2, 2, 1, open, open. Then I went to an A chord, and I just did that with 1 finger there. I'm playing, starting with the open 5th string, open, 2, 2, 2. Then I'm muting the 1st string and also the low E string with my fretting hand thumb there. Then we have a B7. This is a trickier chord here. We're playing from the 5th string down as well. 2, 1, 2, open, 2. So we've got E, A, and B7. Now, one quick note, sometimes I play the E like this, and that's taking my middle finger and just sort of mashing it in between the strings and getting 2 strings with 1 finger. It's an advanced technique. You could try it. You could also just play it as E7 like this. It's just easier for me to switch between these chords like that. So that's a trick, for long-term practice for sure. A lot of people don't do that though, but it really helps you out. So those are the 3 chords, E, A, and B7. Now we're going to start with 2 bars of E. We're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now what I'm doing with my strum hand is I'm playing an 8th note rhythm, and I'm playing all downs, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then I'm using a palm mute. So I'm muting the strings a little bit. Instead of that, it's muted. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then you go. So these are our quick changing rhythms here, and this is what's going to be great for practicing your chord transitions. We're going to start on the E, then go to the A. We're going to go 1 and 2 and 3. So let me show you what I'm doing here. I'm playing the E chord, 1 and 2. Okay, so I'm starting on the and of 1. My strum hand goes down. I don't play anything. 1. Then I come back up and 2 with an up down. So 1 and 2. Then on the next up, I actually play open strings. It's just a total rock and roll thing. You just hit the open strings. And then I hit the A chord with 1 finger. So 1 and 2 and 3. If you're playing it like this, 1 and 2 and 3. You can go like that, or this fingering, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Okay? Then we're going to do the same thing, but have different chords. We're going to go from B7 to E. So that's 1 and 2 and 3. Again, with those open strings in there. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. So that's a great little exercise right there just to practice switching between those chords. Now a lot of times I'll keep my strum hand moving with just, I can do muted strums in between like. And I'm just keeping my hand moving down, up constantly. And you can see Eddie Cochran play this live, and his hand's just going back and forth. So that's a good idea to just kind of feel that beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then also tapping your foot. And that's going to help you lock in the rhythm. All right, let's put these parts together. So we basically have sort of that chunking rhythm where the vocal melody sings over that, and then when the vocal stops, the guitar answers with sort of like a call and response where you just transition between the chords. So here's what it sounds like. I'll put it together and I'll hum a bit of the melody so you can hear what it sounds like. A 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, from there we go to the B section, and here we're gonna go to the A chord and play a blues rhythm pattern. It's gonna go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so what I'm doing here is playing the open 5th string. I'm just like using that A chord there, but I'm only gonna play 2 notes of it. I'm gonna play the 5th string and the 4th string. I'll play that twice, and then I'm gonna replace this note on the 2nd fret with the 4th fret of the 4th string, and I'm gonna do that on beats 2 and 4 like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and E, 2, and then rest. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, then A. 'Cause there ain't no cure for the summertime. 1 and 2. Okay, and then we connect it back in with the first figure. So that's the second part. So we really just have kind of those 2 sections there, like an A section and a B section. And a lot of this B section is just breaking, on the E chord. So it's like 2 bars of A, then an E break, then 2 bars of A, then an E break. Here it is all together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And then here we go. 1, 2. We have what's called a 2-4 bar, and it's on the word summertime blues. And then on blues, you're back in with the E chord, and you play the first figure. All right, so there's one other part I want to show you, and that is there's this bass line that's sort of like, and that's kind of a cool thing. You can play the low E, and then you can slide in. So sometimes I'll do that instead of just E, like this. I'll go. So those are the guitar parts to Eddie Cochran's classic Summertime Blues. Now take your time with each section and know that counting it out, like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, and just really tapping that foot and working on those rhythms is what's going to help you improve your timing. And then from there, you want to play it along with the recording, and that's when it all starts coming together and you lock into that groove. Now, by the way, a lot of these patterns are based on blues patterns from things like the blues scale and just classic blues recordings. So if you haven't worked out your blues scale up and down the neck, I want to give you a gift that's going to show you how to do it with just 5 simple patterns that you can play up and down the entire neck. Just go to johnmcclennan.com/blues-scales and you can get this completely for free. Just download it there. It's going to show you the 5 patterns that I use, and this is really going to help you out for playing songs like this and just learning your fretboard. So go to johnmcclennan.com/blues-scales to grab that now. As always, thanks for watching, and for more rock guitar, check out this video next.